So what made you do this mountaineering course with the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering that you did?
Okay. Why is the fact that we've always believed that in life you should not be too comfortable, and being very comfortable makes you weak. And this mountaineering course is something which I thought it will lead to learning new skills, especially about the and it was absolutely great, especially about the rock climbing and the ice craft and the snow craft, and meeting different people from different walks of life, from the commandos to the Delhi police SWAT team to many of the people all over India, and the teachers who are wonderful. So in hindsight, I would say it is hard, it was uncomfortable, but it was absolutely satisfying in that sense. Learn new life skills about search and rescue also, and the discomfort. Sometimes in the discomfort, especially in the wilderness, in over a period of time, you begin to feel comfortable, and that is where the growth takes place. And one should always challenge oneself once you feel as if, especially in the urban cities, so that everything is easy, plenty of food, plenty of going here, there with the friends, family, and everything else. So by going like this for about 20 days or so, it makes you realize. In fact, I'm not yet come back to normal, I think.
Sea level.
No, normal, mentally I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because it makes you question what is important in your life and is it really necessary. So I would say most people should try to do this in a way, the way it is supposed to be. You and the nature with the guides who are there right now to help you. So eventually, if I want to do it, I would prefer to do it just with a very few people, because now we know how to look after ourselves well. Even if whatever the situation arises.
So Sunil, the course was for 20 to 55-year-olds, right? And you being 54 decided to do it. So you were obviously one of the oldest ones over there, right? Having done it at this stage in your life, do you feel that it would have been completely different had you done this course when you were in your 20s or 30s, as opposed to the experience that you had now?
The course was for 18 to 55, and I got to know about the trekking and everything else late in life. So only a few years ago during the COVID time. So, and the interest came in, and irrespective of whatever, physically we have always kept ourselves well. So it's not a big deal, the physicality. The 20-year-old, I would advise the 20-year-olds to do it. Some of the boys turn into men, realizing what it's all about. So I met a few of the people who in the advanced one also. That's what they said. So why do it is because it made me realize, and also realize the fact that if any situation arises in life, anytime, anywhere, so it will be okay, that I will be able to look after it, myself and my friends. So it teaches you that. It teaches you, it's not just a mountaineering course. It's a mountaineering course, of course, you do it for a month and then back to sea level and whatever. But the fact that you went through that experience, it makes you aware of the fact that you can do things. And when the situation or the thing is really hard, and if a friend is in trouble, and or anybody else, how to look after yourself and able to help others. Yeah.
In the 20 days, what was the hardest part about the experience for you?
Hardest part, I would say, was actually trying to do small talk and trying to gel with the 20-year-olds. being 55. So it's in that sense, it is harder because yeah. So trying to get somebody else on the same wavelength of life or discussion over because we're spending so much time together. So that is the really hard part. Otherwise, I'm like for a 20-year-old it is good, but as an older person, that I would say was harder. And also, I would say sometimes the language is an issue. So yeah.
So tell us, how did you physically prepare yourself for this course in terms of the training? And having done the course, now how will you be training yourself in the future? Is there any change? What are your thoughts on that?
See, personally, I trained quite well in the sense of trying to do most aspects, because I knew it's a long endurance kind of thing. It's mainly how you endure, the body is able to go through those, endure all those things which are coming towards it. So that was not because I prepared, so it was easier. So from doing rucking over the weekends and through the week doing both strength training and endurance training. So it was a mix of everything, not just purely one aspect over the other. But seeing the other candidates and the struggle, I would say that many were not fully prepared for it, because it's not just that if you're not fully prepared, then you get injuries also. So many were not fully prepared in that aspect. I would actually say that NIMS or any course like this, when they allow the people to come, they should actually give them a training program for 3 to 4 months, which they have to implement, or otherwise they should have certain fitness standards which they have to cross, from VO2 max to the endurance strength. Some of the tests which with minimum guidelines should be there, so that everybody does much better.
And about how you're going to change your training program?
Change my training. You know how it is. It was the endurance phase. Right now, I may for the next cycle, I may emphasize slightly more on strength and speed, but I will not let go of the endurance for sure, because we make sometimes the mistake of just emphasizing one aspect of fitness over the other, and I feel that I want all aspects. So it is not just one thing, only strength or only this. So I want to be good in all levels. Maybe not excellent. It's not a case of running a marathon or a ultra marathon. It's a case of having
The capacity.
good amount of strength and everything else, and maintaining the muscle mass at the same time. But I must say that I'm going to train harder on my grip strength, just because I like rock climbing, and that is one thing I think I have to work harder on, so that I maintain that through it. It is a beautiful place. They have got a beautiful setup. Their principal is very, very good. Commanding presence. All the teachers are great. Most of them are passionate about what they do. In fact, our rope teacher Mohit sir is from Delhi, a great rock climber. Yeah. So and what they're able to give, a little bit extra, if you ask them for more. So they are able to do that. And how they explain to us about how in times of need, that especially in the search and rescue missions, how they go all in and have helped so many thousands of people in that region, Uttarakhand. Yeah. Maths, For the last few months, you've been doing weightlifting training, which you're interested in, and I can also see that you become broader, you put on more weight, which is like for the women or most women, it's like why? What is the you look bigger, you may be stronger also, but you do look bigger. So how do you feel, and why are you doing this?
Okay, so I'll address the why first. So I've always wanted to train for weightlifting. Whether or not I enter a competition or compete with someone else's in material, I've been wanting to get better at it technically. So for the last 3 months, I've actually been getting coached specifically for weightlifting, and it has taught me a lot. Not just in terms of how technical these lifts really are, but in terms of how to prepare the body overall so that weightlifting can happen. So I think that has been the biggest learning and the journey, because in trying to prepare myself to do weightlifting, I've had to increase the volume of my training a lot to support the parts of the body that are weaker, the lats that don't engage, all of these, the physics of the body, and trying to address those areas that need more work. So the volume of overall training has gone up. Because the volume has gone up, I've probably put on muscle mass, but one of the biggest changes that I've made, which has contributed, I think, to that, is the change in my nutrition. And not in what I'm eating, because that has pretty much been the same, but in the timing of how I'm eating, especially how I'm consuming my protein pre and post my training, and how I'm hydrating myself. So I think that in these two aspects, I've made the biggest changes and I've seen the biggest results. So yes, I'm heavier than I've been, since my kids were born, but I don't feel big or, I just feel stronger. I feel broader but tighter in some ways, and it has given me the capacity to train more. But I think the biggest learning, which I want to talk about a little bit later in maybe a workshop format, is how at the age of 44 to understand that eating less is not a great idea, to eat properly, but to time what we eat so that the body is getting the recovery that it needs and staying hydrated. I think these two are my biggest learnings.